6:47 p.m., just minutes before sunset, 16-year-old Emma Caldwell stepped off the school bus and began the short walk home. A walk she had taken 1,000 times, but this time, she never arrived. And in the quiet town of Willow Creek, a place where nothing ever happened, the sudden disappearance of a kind, soft-spoken girl would shatter every illusion of safety the town held dear. Emma wasn't extraordinary in the way movies often paint missing teenagers. She wasn't a star athlete, or a valedictorian, or someone with a secret double life. She was simply good. She volunteered twice a week at the animal shelter. She baked cookies for her neighbors every Christmas. She believed, maybe too strongly, that people were inherently kind. Emma's walk home was only a 12-minute route through a cluster of maples and a narrow, winding road. And yet, somewhere between the bus stop and her front door, she vanished. The Caldwell family reported her missing within an hour. By nightfall, the entire neighborhood was outside with flashlights. The sheriff's department combed the woods. Volunteers called her name until their voices cracked. Dogs traced her scent to the old wooden bridge, and then the trail simply died. No struggle, no footprints, no personal belongings. Just a chilling, impossible stillness, as if the earth had opened up and swallowed her whole. For Willow Creek, it was the first time people started locking their doors. Detectives began interviewing townsfolk, and one name kept coming up: Daniel Rowe. A quiet handyman, never married, always polite. A man who blended so effortlessly into the background that nobody ever looked at him long enough to really see him. He lived less than a mile from the bridge. What made him interesting wasn't who he was, but who he watched. Neighbors reported seeing him by his window at odd hours. At the grocery store, he was always 2 aisles behind Emma and her mother. At church, he sat 3 pews back, alone. No one had ever found enough reason to be alarmed. Until now. For 2 agonizing weeks, hope waned. Posters faded in the rain. Candlelight vigils turned into silent gatherings. Julia Caldwell stopped sleeping altogether. Then, a jogger discovered something near the tree line. A small, silver bracelet engraved with the word, "Believe." It was Emma's. The evidence was faint but critical. Fibers, soil traces, and a single partial footprint leading toward the edge of Daniel Rowe's property. Detectives moved fast. Inside his shed, they found rope, duct tape, a torn piece of a plaid scarf, and Emma's backpack. Still neatly packed. Still zipped. As if she had never opened it again after school. During interrogation, Daniel Rowe folded instantly. He confessed, not out of remorse, but because, in his words, "I knew you'd figure it out eventually. Emma was special. I just wanted her to stay." He described seeing her walk past his house every day, smiling at everyone, radiating a warmth he convinced himself was meant for him alone. On the day she disappeared, he had simply approached her. "Hey Emma, do you have a minute? I need help carrying something." A small favor, a harmless request. She trusted him. That trust was her undoing. He held her in his basement for 3 days. 3 days. When she tried to escape, he panicked and strangled her with the scarf detectives later found in his shed. Her body was recovered near a shallow creek just behind his property. Willow Creek was never the same. Children no longer walked home alone. Porch lights stayed on all night. And the town learned a lesson far darker than any nightmare. Danger doesn't always look dangerous. Sometimes it looks like the man who mows your lawn, smiles at the grocery store, or holds the door open. At Emma's funeral, her mother whispered a final message. "You loved people too easily, my girl, and that's what made you beautiful." And to this day, when the sun sets over Willow Creek, neighbors swear the street feels colder, as if the light that once lived in Emma Caldwell never, truly, found its way home.